was one other clip I wanted to share with you from her decision, and it has to do with the two remaining contenders in the Democratic primary and what they represent demographically. Take a look.
I will not be running for president in 2020, but I guarantee I will stay in the fight for the hardworking folks across this country who've gotten the short end of the stick over and over.
What your message would be to the women and girls who feel like we're left with two white men to decide between?
I know. One of the hardest parts of this is all those pinky promises and all those little girls who are going to have to wait 4 more years. That's going to be hard.
So I agree with her in that it would have been much more, I guess, preferable to have her in the race as opposed to a man who is experiencing cognitive decline right before our very eyes, someone who's a target-rich environment. I'm talking specifically about Biden. I think the saddest part about this race is that Biden is being propped up by the mainstream press when he is the most vulnerable candidate in the general election. That's incredibly sad. But look, I get it. I one day want to see a woman as president. I want to see an Asian American one day as president. I want to see a gay individual as president. I think representation matters. But it's also about electing the right person to represent your best interests. So just simply supporting someone based on their race or their gender, but ignoring their politics or ignoring their policies makes no sense to me. And this topic keeps coming up over and over again as if like, hey, nothing matters. Just the identity of the candidate should matter. And the fact that you have 2 people left who are white men should be very sad. Well, yeah, sure, it's sad because I'd like to see more diversity, but what do these 2 individuals represent? And are we actually talking about the substance of these people as opposed to something that they can't control, which is their gender or their race?
Yeah, I understand that. Of course I understand that. At the same time, we're not talking about a Betsy DeVos here, like, oh, just elect her because she's a woman. We're not talking even about an Amy Klobuchar, who we don't agree with. Elizabeth Warren, certainly for 80% of this race, was someone we really, really agreed with. So it would have been wonderful to see that as well. And that's still possible. It's in the realm of possibility. If these are decisions way, way above my pay grade, but if she were to be vice president one day, could she be president one day? Certainly possible. And the pinky promise thing, if you don't know what it is actually, I think it's super touching. She would do it with her youngest female supporters, quote, so that they'll remember that running for president is what girls do. And I love that. And so of course she's disappointed that she couldn't, in a sense, deliver for them. That's the sense I had when in my tiny brief run, and let alone the gigantic run she had and the responsibility she must have felt towards all of them. But I want to end on this. Why do we keep going back to the media? Because they painted it as, for example, in the beginning, that Elizabeth Warren was misrepresenting things by claiming Native American ancestry that her family told her she had her whole life, right? And they're like, can you believe she's doing that, et cetera? And they aided and abetted Donald Trump's smears of her. Then Joe Biden says that he got arrested with Nelson Mandela fighting apartheid. You want to talk about misrepresenting on an issue related to race? That is 1,000 times worse, 10,000 times worse, 1,000,000 times worse than what Elizabeth Warren did. If you think what Elizabeth Warren did was wrong, anyone with any sense, any logic can tell you that. But the media is like, oh yeah, lying about stolen valor with Nelson Mandela in an outrageous, preposterous, absurd, and immoral lie. No big deal. But let's talk 24/7 nonstop about Elizabeth Warren's heritage and related to race. So it is so hard for progressives to overcome this, and the only way to overcome it is to unite. So this is it. We must unite now. If we don't, all might be lost. Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that All you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.